Stacy.
Okay.
Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Everyone,
Like
everyone all together now.
Ocean.
One more all together. And let it all out. Let everything out. All right. I figured we really needed that. And if we really needed that, probably all of our listeners needed that as well. Because the world is fucked. We're fucked, everybody.
And on top of that, we were having technical difficulties. So
and then on top of that, I was a shitty co-host and completely forgot that we were recording at 4, and I was out drinking a beer and having food at Dunedin Brewery. So,
and I almost hired Cooper, my dog, too.
Yeah. And I finally felt Stacy's pain of being fired. But I completely understood. So
welcome to Meet Us on Main Street, Dunedin's OG podcast. I'm Stacy.
I'm not Stacy. I'm Tia. I'm Tia.
And I'm Stacy.
There she is. And this is another edition of our show. Welcome. And I hope that little breathing workshop that we just did felt really good to everybody. Because as we know, bars are now closed again in the great state of Florida because people infected with viruses couldn't stay home. So this is where we're at again. So, and that quickly came to us, which got a lot of people, frustrated because that sucks that they literally told us in the morning.
Bar blue balls.
Yes, exactly. And then everyone's working there. Like John had to find out that morning about whether or not they're doing to-goes at the brewery or if they're even opening at all. And like they said bars. So does that mean breweries? Do you have to have a food truck? And like they took their sweet ass time getting together and letting us know. So, but yes, hopefully it won't last
just
long.
Make your cocktails at home like me.
Make your own drink. So it's empty. That makes my drink sad.
Is that protein shake?
No, it's Kratom. It's actually, I think, my happiness booster. Because ever since I started drinking this, I've actually been in a much better mood. It's either that or my antidepressants are finally kicking in, but I'm going to say it's the Kratom.
I mean, I think it might have been the breathing exercise that we did.
I have been doing more yoga. I did get a pass for Warrior One, and they have Zoom classes, which I thought would be kind of a waste of money. But it's actually really nice to just be like, oh, like I don't want to go out and go to a class. So and it's like, oh, I can just turn on this. And they don't let you use props in studio right now because of the whole stuff. So I have a whole yoga studio of bolsters and blocks and straps and stuff. So, and another bonus, I don't have to have my video on. So I can literally just do whatever I want in the yoga class.
So I did that one time. I did a Zoom yoga class with one of the instructors from Warrior One. I think she's still there.
They have
Cameron.
like 20 instructors. So.
And she was doing a restorative practice at night. And I was like, oh, perfect. I love restorative yoga. And I was like, I'm just going to, keep the video off and do my yoga. And then it was like maybe 7 people and they all had their video on. So I didn't want to be that one creeper with the video off.
Yeah, but what if you like to do yoga in the buff? I mean, okay, fine, guys. You want to see video on? Video on. Hello. You want to go with me? They do social distancing. They have all the lines mapped out. They have some yin classes they do in studio, but it's $39 for a new student for 30 days, which is pretty freaking cheap in the yoga world. So
that's a really good deal.
Get my stretch on. So I gotta have something to compensate while I'm off work for apparently 2 weeks and all the bars are closed. So yeah, now.
Yes, fill it with healthy activities.
Exactly. Kratom and yoga. It's my new way of life. Housewife life. See, I've got the housewife headband on and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And your new outfit from the Edinburgh Fringe, which
I thought
our guest today is Christy from the Edinburgh Fringe.
Yes, this is the beautiful outfit, which is a romper, which I have always been weirded out by because it's still weird, even though I have finally peed in a bathroom while wearing this. And it is weird.
Say, even though I've peed in a romper.
Well, now I understand because John was looking at it and he's like, is that do you have like shorts on underneath it? And I was like, oh no, it's the silk part. So I guess if you pee yourself by taking so long trying to get to the bathroom, it has a middle layer to kind of absorb before it, shows through.
And silk dries quickly. So there you go. That's the secret to wearing a romper. Make sure it has that layer.
Exactly. Has to have a second layer in there so that you won't see, pee all over yourself after taking 20 minutes to try to fucking get out of this thing. So, but yeah, and the headbands from there too, which I think is super fucking adorable. Not so much when I have this headphones on because it's crushing into my head, but beauty is pain. So
exactly. Well, you look a lot nicer than I do right now, but
well, have you been up to anything? Any more gardening or anything fun?
No, I've actually not done gardening the past week. I'm still, working my way through Parks and Rec. I made a disturbing observation. Technically, Dominic made it about me. Apparently, I am the Jerry Gergich of if I were a character.
Did he say that to your face?
Yes, and it's so true. Because I'm constantly like spilling things, and today so this was yesterday, we talked about it, and I was making coffee this morning and I spilled coffee grounds all over the place. I was like, damn it, I am the Jerry. But I'm reacting to it a lot like Tom when he's deemed the new Jerry.
Oh yes, he's like, no. Look, he did something funny, like Chris Pratt or something.
I really don't like being the Jerry.
The Jerry.
In other
I think
news,
you're much prettier than Jerry.
Well, thank you. And by the way, in case you were wondering, Dominic is the April.
100% accurate. Yep. I totally see that.
Yeah. What character would you be? Would you be Leslie?
Well, yeah, I always feel like I would be more of a Leslie, but then when the mix of April, because I always say that John's like my my Chris Pratt. He's always like Andy, because he's kind of more like the fun-loving guy. And then I'm always just like, oh, fuck everyone. But I'm also now being more of a go-getter. So yeah, I'd be more of like the Leslie Knope of everything. And I'm always planning something, some party or something to do. So yeah. I've escalated my time. You can work your way out of that Jerry into an April or into a Tom.
Yeah, I need to.
Or an Ann. Ann Perkins.
I wouldn't mind being Ann Perkins.
There you go. Ann Perkins. Well, Dominic's pretty good in exercising. He could be the Chris. I just ran 1,000 miles.
Yes, but he doesn't have the positive attitude.
Yes, that's true. Well, if Chris Traeger and April had a baby, it would be the love child would be Dominic. Perfect.
True. So I'm working my way through that. And then I mentioned before doing writing, and exciting news, I actually won a power prompt, which I didn't even know what was happening, but I found out that I won $15.
Nice.
So
how? Like, who gave you the 15?
It was, I write the stories through medium.com, and it's part of a publication called The Weekly Knob. So every week they give you a prompt to write about. And then at the end of the week, they publish the stories, and the editors pick the top 3.
That's
and
badass.
When they do their power prompt, you can win money. So.
Holy crap. I thought you were just kind of like writing on the side. I didn't realize you were like writing through something that you can make some money off of. That's fucking banging.
Yeah.
What was your story
$15,
about?
I'm rich.
I'm rich, bitch. What was your story about?
It was about so the
Gardening.
prompt was fire, and it was about a winery that basically gets caught up in a wildfire in California. And
Why would you do that to a poor winery? What has it ever done to you?
It's happened in real life. So
that's the saddest story I've ever heard.
I know.
Well, that alcohol.
I know.
Was it about somebody that tries to run in and save it by drinking it all?
No. But spoiler alert. They were able to save at least one grapevine, which then multiplied. And they ended up 3 years later coming out with a new, better wine.
Oh, thank you for adding a happy ending onto that and just not ending it and it burned down and the insurance company said it was fraud. And so they lost everything and one of them killed themselves. The end.
That would have been a really depressing story. I don't think I would have won the power prompt if that were the case.
It would have just been no, that you would have, because they would have been let's give this girl some money because she seems really, really sad right now, and we don't want her to off herself. Yeah, use this for therapy, hon. The writing's fantastic, but yeah, you cray.
So yeah,
well, that's fun.
Yeah, I've been up to that, and we filmed our Stacy and Tia Do Stuff, our next edition, which was a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh, that's probably gonna be, that so far is my favorite one. And not to say anything against all the other fantastic people we worked with, but this one's a little bit of a different structure, as you will see, and it was so much fucking fun to make that video. So stay tuned. That should be coming out a little bit after the episode, some point in time. And I'm really excited to see the finished cut on that. It's gonna be so cool.
Oh yeah, we did do our virtual movie night also.
Yeah, we watched 40-Year-Old Virgin. We brought that back on the perfect date because all the bars closed on Friday morning and we were doing it Friday night. So gave some people something to do. Get drunk while watching us. It's always fun. We had a full house too because John was off of work and Danielle wanted to go out and get a drink. So I had a full couch on my house.
And we had our perma guest, Brian.
Exactly. It's always there.
It was a party.
Yeah. And other than that, I've just been working on stuff for social media ads for all 1,200 of my businesses. And today I went to the Fenway Wedding Showcase, which was actually really good for my business because I love going to wedding shows and bridal shows so that I can network with all the vendors and find out who's in the area. So I love it when the Fenway does theirs, because it's all people, they're all from Palm Harbor, Dunedin, all of them operate in this area instead of someone from Tampa, which is most of the places. So Margot was there too. I got to chit chat with her from Inky Fingers
Calligraphy. Yep.
So that was really cool to go ahead and feel normal and being oh, our business will come back one day. Right, guys? I saw this popsicle bike, a entertainment style thing that I'm definitely going to push on people's events because it seems awesome.
Who doesn't love a good popsicle?
Yeah. And he hand makes everything himself. It's called Professor Pops. And apparently, and the Ice Crystals, which is their Facebook name. But on their card, it just says Professor Pops.
Is he really a professor?
Probably. I was talking to them, they literally knew everything about popsicles and all these different mad scientists creations. So they have a cafe con leche one they do. They can also do boozy ones also. So I definitely want them. I asked them if they could ride one right to my house and then just set it up right in front, on my porch for me only. That's all I want. But yeah, it's always nice to meet vendors that are local because I like dealing with local people as much as possible. So, and then I've just been scheduling myself a lot of yoga classes and a lot of networking thing with one-on-ones with people. I'm trying to get my BNI one-on-ones in.
Very cool.
Get out in the world as much as I possibly am allowed. That's my life in a nutshell.
So today on our podcast, we have Christy Jones, owner of the Edinburgh Fringe. which is an awesome store and event
Amazing.
space in downtown Dunedin.
Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Stacy Dennison, co-owner of Edgewater Creative LLC. We specialize in creating video ads for small businesses. With a background of working on film sets, not only behind the camera, but also in front of it, my husband Dominic and I strive to make our clients and their businesses look their best and feel comfortable on camera. Let us tell the story of your brand cinematically. To contact us, go to www.edgewatercreativefl.com.
And I can personally attest their video work is fan-freaking-tastic.
All right, so we're here with Christy Jones from the Edinburgh Fringe. Hey, Christy, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Not too bad.
Doing fantastic.
I was just going to say, Tia, how are you? I fail to ask you sometimes, and I know you get offended by that.
I do, and I bring it up an hour afterwards of like how pissed I am. But this time I just jumped in anyways, because I also want to say how beautiful our guest today is looking with her super blonde hair, which makes me so jealous right now. I want my blonde hair back.
I was nervous. I feel like we're on a date. I got ready for you guys. I put on makeup for you. When I did my second toothbrushing, I realized that we were on Zoom.
Well, I must say your teeth are sparkly white.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we showed up like those Tinder dates that you should have swiped the other way on, and just kind of rolled out of bed for this one. But yeah, you get our sparkling personality.
Well, gotta be comfs. Now that our episodes are on Zoom, everyone can see just how unattractive we look.
You
and Christy
broke
looks
the third
gorgeous.
wall. Stop looking at the camera. You broke the third wall. It's not there. Ah! That's even better. Can I just do one comment on that? So the funny thing is I never actually know, like, because you don't know where anyone is on your screen. So it's funny whenever someone's eyes, like right now, I think you're looking at me, but then right now looks like she's looking Stacey's looking that way. And like, it's like, because I'm always looking at the person, but it doesn't actually look like you're looking at the person.
Right.
Zoom is a mind fuck, man.
But then it's good because sometimes when you're distracted and looking at yourself, people can't tell.
They don't know. I know. I was thinking that too. I was like, I've got to stop fucking with my hair. They're going to know I'm looking at myself.
That is the giveaway when you start like.
It's like, I'm sorry, what did you just ask me? I don't care.
So, Christy, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came to settle in Dunedin, and give us who is the true Christy? Like, so many people answer with their career for this question, but we want to know you.
The real me on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Just like a date.
It is like a date.
This is our first date.
It's a double date.
Ooh.
It's a menage date.
We're like a throuple right now.
Oh, look at this.
So I'm a second generation Floridian. I have a 13-year-old daughter. Her name's Channing. She'll be 13 next month. She and I were living in Palm Harbor. So I grew up, I'm from Lakeland originally, and then grew up half in Lakeland and then moved to Palm Harbor with my dad in middle school. So Channing and I were living in Palm Harbor on our own. And then my husband and I had been dating, and he decided he wanted to move a little closer to us. So we met at Seventh Sun one day, and we were going through Realtor.com trying to decide where he was going to live. He knew he did not want to be in Palm Harbor. He didn't like how suburban it was. He wanted to be in Dunedin if he couldn't stay on Indian Rocks Beach. So we were searching, and I suggested that we move in together. So Seventh Sun brought us together. And
nice.
So we moved over here, and
good relationships start in beer.
And
it does.
So he took me to Seventh Sun on our first date, but I didn't drink beer. So like unknowing that I was not a drinker or a beer drinker. He took me to a brewery, so we like hopped Seventh Sun and then the living room and fell in love. But yeah, so we when we moved to Dunedin, we like just submerged ourselves in the town. We joined the community garden and got bikes, and I taught Channing how to ride her bike at Our Lady of Lourdes, and
that's where I learned how to smoke pot.
Oh God, I hope Channing doesn't learn how
That's where I used to go to church.
I don't see. Okay, so I lived down the street from a church in Palm Harbor, and I always felt like I had a friend that lived right behind it, and whenever we would walk through, if my friends cussed on church grounds, I felt like it was really awful, like they were definitely going to hell. So I don't know what Pia is going to.
You were checked off that.
Yeah.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, it was in the hammock park behind Our Lady of Lourdes, so it's more in the grass area, but it was by a Virgin Mary, so I don't know where I lie.
I mean, then again, it's a natural plant.
Yeah, it's
God put into the earth.
If it's grown by God, it's made for me. Or what was it? Grown from the ground, it's made for me, or something they say. I don't know. I digress. I do want to throw in something real quick to the story, is that how connected everyone in Dunedin ends up being is that, so I met Christy through my friend Sabrina that does my skincare. And funny enough, she is married to my best friend, to an employee of my, not an employee. How do I say this actually correctly?
I'm already very confused by this.
No. So my best friend used to work with her husband back in the day, like at a state farm. So like there's like two different strings right there is like what connected Christy into my life. Like, and we had no idea.
And I have a third one that you don't know about yet that I just discovered.
So like, this is why I have such a fangirl crush on Christy, and she's just meant to be in my life. So
that's it.
Sorry if I keep gushing about her throughout this entire episode, but I will now be quiet and let her continue her life.
We're meant to be.
We are meant to be. See, this whole dating thing.
And then
I'm feeling really awkward in this throuple right now.
Sorry,
there's always got to be one. I mean,
that is one thing that's very scary with the thought of threesomes is like, I would get real pissed off.
I know, right?
I couldn't handle it.
No. I would like rip the bitches off. They'd be like, but you said it's okay. Never fucking, how dare you believe me? I was pushing this to the limit. You do it. Anyways.
I wanted you to say no, that I'm enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want you to make me take it this far.
I felt going into this episode of Thruple Dumb.
No.
Girl, you're my co-host. And I don't mean it when I'm gonna fire you. It's nothing but love.
Well, okay.
There it is. All right, now let's get back to Christy.
That's it. Then we moved to Dunedin and we lived happily ever after.
So tell us a little bit about the Edinburgh Fringe, which I am pronouncing correctly. I understand.
And I've been butchering for this entire time. But luckily I usually just tag it. I don't say it verbally. So.
Oh, you've said it on the podcast multiple times.
Well, hopefully people still know what I meant.
They probably know better what you mean. So I have noticed there's a lot of Edinburgh, a lot of Edinburgh, every once in a while in Edinburgh. But I think in Scotland they say Edinburgh. So another thing. But
if
we are
an O in it, I would have said borough. Like if there's like
I know it doesn't seem like
but
yeah, it doesn't seem like it would be the way it is. But yeah, we are slowly rebranding it. So it will be TEF, like not TEF, but just pronounced how it's spelled TEF. So that's why you see like one of my signs out front is TEF, and then all the social media is Shop TEF, to just make it easier and so people are more comfortable saying it and referring us and talking about us. So that was like, that was a rookie mistake in branding and naming.
What's the story behind it, behind the original name?
When I was deciding to start the business, I wasn't necessarily looking to start a clothing store. or to have like a fashion brand happening. I really wanted to create something in our town, and I really wanted to encourage our town to continue growing. So I thought about, what do I want to see in Dunedin? And I wanted to see my style of clothing in like a modern style of a boutique. I didn't want to drive to Tampa for my clothes anymore. I wanted to have something right here. So I knew the town was really significant and important to me, and I wanted to be able to incorporate the name some way. So Dunedin is a Gaelic word, and it's Gaelic for Edinburgh, which is the capital of Scotland. And they hold an annual festival of the arts there every year. So it's multi-medium, all different kinds of art, all different types of people coming together to create this festival. And so in similar way, I'm bringing the art of fashion to our town. So the art of design, rather. So I keep at least 3 small designers in store at a time. So people that have a hand in their day-to-day production, it's really important to me that they were forward-facing. So not just a CEO that's running something to make money, but somebody that really had a passion for their craft and for what they were doing. So the art side of the fashion and of the design is really important. So we have the small designers in-house. We started with just clothing, but now it's the clothing, accessories, and branching out to different types of lifestyle products too. So like we have toadfish in now that's more appealing for a coastal lifestyle, and it's a guy started it in South Carolina. He's still really actively involved. When I put in orders, I'm speaking with him. So I'm looking for those kind of people, just real people that have a hand in their companies. And we are rolling out, hopefully this fall, we'll kind of see how things go with events, but we are rolling out rotating art exhibit. So every quarter we'll showcase a different artist in the store. So it's called The Art Of, and we'll have the first one, for example, is The Art of Photography. She's a Dunedin photographer. Lisa Sampiro will be our first one. So The Art of Photography will be an exhibit in the store. We'll have a reception to welcome her in, so the community can come in and meet her and learn about her and learn why she got started and what she sees for her art and where she wants to go with it. And then we'll have it up for 3 months. It is available for sale, so we will have the price on the wall available for customers to purchase if they're interested, and then I'm not keeping any commission on that. So this was my way of being able to give back to the art community. So I want the artists to keep the money that they've worked for and earned, and to get them exposure. So this is a great first step, especially for smaller artists, to start get their name out there. So the first one's the art of photography, and then we have another lined up that's going to be the art of community, and we're going to be showcasing Dunedin specific, and then some things that people did to work through COVID and how they were able to bring our community together in kind of a weird time when we're supposed to be separate. So, and then we'll bring in different mediums, you know, like paints and oils and that kind of thing later. But yeah, so those together kind of go with the Fringe Festival concept.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when you were just talking about it. That's so cool that, you know, you have that vision to bring in local artists. And it's really generous of you not to take any portion of commission on the pieces sold too. You know, my husband for a while, for many years, was an artist, and he still is, but he doesn't really sells art anymore. But, you know, it's so rare to find a space to display art where people aren't going to really rake you over the coals and take a big cut of, you know, art that you have to price low anyway for people to buy, because so many people don't want to put out the money, even though it's like original pieces and stuff. Yeah. It's just very difficult for artists.
Well, and that's what's so challenging right now too, especially for artists, especially for sculptors and painters, because people are seeing these generic kind of things at Home Goods, and they don't understand the entire purpose of bringing artwork into your home is that you're bringing this piece of another person into your space.
Yep.
And you're showing that culture to your children. And it just sucks, like, to see things getting ripped off, you know, especially the arts. It just cheapens it. And it's like, do you really want that cheapened experience surrounding you in your house all the time? Like, you know, what kind of art does Dominic do? I didn't know that.
His original love
logo.
is, yeah, he did our logo. His first love doing art is monsters and kind of like fantasy pieces. So I'm just trying to, I'll grab one because his art desk is right next to me.
Perfect.
While she's doing that, I did want to mention how much I love the fact that you do the arts also because I always mention how, I love that.
I love it.
It's very devil-like.
Yeah. It's got a lot of emotion. I can feel it.
But I've always mentioned how I believe that your store has that New York street vibe. Like, it has that like cultural, like it's something that you would walk down the streets in New York and see like that kind of quality and that kind of a boutique store. And it just has this upscale vibe. And it's also something that like, this is like where the artists can come in and place their artwork up and you have an exhibition for them. So that just draws it even more into that like big city New York kind of feel that I already love about your store.
Originally, that's really what I was looking for. I was like wanting it to feel like this totally local spot that nobody really knew about, and it was sort of hidden and tucked. And I had like a business coach come in and talk to me from the chamber, and he was like, "You gotta get more signage. Like, what are you doing?" When my old location, my new one's awesome for visibility, but my old location was just hidden. But it was kind of by design. Like, I wanted it to feel like, oh, like, what is this thing? You know, like almost like a speakeasy of like, you know, clothing stores kind of. And I was like, nah, the people will do it. The people will, but it's like a secret and it'll be great. And he's like, that's not sustainable. You won't be able to stay in business. So I was like, what? No, it's perfect. It's going to be so weird and unusual and secretive. And I don't want any signage. And he was right. He's so right.
Girl, he's just starting to put signs up.
He's kind of an expert.
Yeah. It turns out he was an expert in his field.
So, and then you mentioned you did the art exhibits. You're going to start doing those in the fall. But another fantastic thing about your space is you also rent it out for events and parties and things like that as well. Which, me being an event planner, I literally push the ever-loving crap out of your place for people to, because it's just such a cute place. Like, it has so much potential. And how I've always said how it has that upscale kind of vibe to it, like a swanky like cocktail party, like for a fundraiser or like bridal showers, like, and then you could even have like, you know, your clothes up to still sell, or you can drape off the room. So if you don't want it out, like, there's so many options for it, and it's a nice size space. So
yeah, for sure. So we in my old location, the small location, when I had opened it just for the boutique, I was surprised how often I was getting asked to do events. So I had a good amount of nonprofit events in there where they would use, so the nonprofit would use it as like a member mixer. So the members could get, you know, more time like getting to know each other, or recruitments to bring in new members into the organizations. But then we could tie in where they could shop after, and then I donate a portion of the proceeds to their nonprofit. So it was really great for them and really great for me, and such great exposure. So that worked out well. And then I started getting asked for private shopping. So I would have women that would rent the space. I provide, and for the shopping, I didn't charge any kind of like fee for the space. You just come in and shop, and then I provide wine, cheese, water, just like a charcuterie for them, and they can shop and have a good time with their girlfriends. So kind of like what it turned into, what I didn't understand at first, because I was like never at that level where I would like be able to shop privately somewhere. But what it turns into, which I understand now, it's like if you're sitting in a restaurant and you're with your closest friends and you're having a great time, and you kind of like the conversation goes, and it's like you're so comfortable with each other, you start talking about things that you probably don't want strangers to hear, and it gets really loud and whatever, and you feel like you have to keep it down. It's them being able to have that fun experience together, but in a different environment, so they can like hang out and have fun and talk about whatever they want to talk about privately and loud and be crazy, but then they can shop at the same time, and we've got the wine and the snacks, so it just turns out to be such a fun time with girlfriends. So then when I decided to move the location into the Artisan, it was a brand new building, and I was able to do the build out myself, which was awesome because I was able to intentionally build it out so that everything on the floor is mobile with the events in mind. So, it is a clothing store, but it can be completely transformed really into a blank canvas too. So with the event space, we rent it really a la carte. There's a base level, just like a base price. And with that automatically included, you have access to 4 tables if you want them, 20 chairs if you want them, a projector, and music. So then you have music, and a long buffet bar. The projector is great because you can use it if it's a bridal shower. You could play photos of the bride, growing up or with her friends or with the bridal party or whatever. If it's an office coming in and they want to have their meeting, we can set the chairs up so it's more of like a classroom setting, so they can lead a meeting. It's Android and Apple compatible, so they can do a PowerPoint or whatever they need to do on the projector, and then the space transitions to where then it's more casual and they can do food and beverage after and have music going and that kind of thing. So you get the basic included, and then for add-ons, we have the option to add on an event planner. So we work with Done Classy Events. So I'll do a basic kind of organizing if you're scheduling an event, but if you want help with someone to set up your food or set up or do decorations for you or plan the whole thing, like you don't even know how to get started, you just know you need to hold a baby shower for somebody, then Tia would be a really good person to talk to, and she's going to be able to organize the entire event for you. That's not something that I would do. I just have the space available. Then you can add on the event planner. You can add on a hostess. Again, Done Classy offers that. So that was just genius. If you've ever held a birthday party for your kid, you know that you spend the entire time chasing around trash and trying to clean up garbage. Or if you're having a meeting, you really need to be up there talking to your team. You don't need to be trying to show somebody where the coffee is or make sure there's enough like sugar and creamer available. So Done Classy Events has a hostess available so that she can keep the trash taken care of, clean off the tables, direct people where the bathroom is, and allow you to have that event. You can also add on, that was a good one. We do rented letters. So there's a company out of Safety Harbor. They have 3-foot tall letters. They're backlit and colored so that you can change the color. It's different LED lights, whatever color you want. Really fun for company. They could put the company name on there, which I do if it's a bridal party. You could do the bride's new monogram or her last name. So it makes really fun photos and just a pretty backdrop. Balloon archways, mini facials. So you can add on someone to come in and do facials, spray tanning, charcuterie, cocktail style tables. Like Tia had mentioned before, pipe and draping. So if you don't want to have shopping as a part of the event, then we can pipe and drape. So it's a completely blank canvas. Just lots of options. So lots of different ways to kind of turn it into whatever someone's looking for. It is definitely, though, an event space for a small event. So this is more specialty, more intimate, more of a boutique event setting. So it's certainly intended to be more special, not just a big, how many people can I get in for the best budget? I want this to really be more of like a memory, more of a specialty kind of an event.
You could do, because micro weddings is becoming a thing where it's like a lower amount of people, which your place would be great for a reception because it's only going to be like 30 people and it wouldn't be a whole bunch, and it's a nice intimate kind of setting for it. You're not going to be hosting a wedding of 200 like people in that spot. because it'd be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I would say I think we can do it's 20. I would do 10 to 20 seated comfortably, and then I wouldn't do more than 70 people standing. So it's still like a pretty hefty number, but we would probably just talk about like what they're looking for, and then like what we're bringing into the space to know how many people we want to fit in there.
And you actually have a couple events coming up that we're doing, like your yoga. We're doing a sip, stretch, and shop yoga class on July 25th at 10 a.m. So that'll be fun, because then you'll even get exclusive first look at some new products that Christy will have out. So that'll be fun. And then we keep talking about trying to get a fashion show going in the fall too.
Yeah.
So that should be a lot of fun.
That'll be great. And then by then too, we'll have all new inventory, and I think people will be hopefully, like knock on wood, ready to get out in the world again. So
fall sounds like a good time for everyone to start, like, because everyone's kind of baby stepping it. So I think fall will be the nice time where people start really thinking about events again. So because where are you located at?
So we're in the Artisan, so across the street from Dunedin Brewery. And then I'm in the plaza with Sonder, which is huge. So Sonder, Iberian Imports, Salon Blonde, and Nature's Food Patch. So it couldn't be a better location.
Anything you'd need to have a event there, like, because you obviously don't have a liquor license, but you could bring in a mobile bartender, or there's Saunders, or there's Dunedin Brewery, and you have Nature's Food Patch if you want to pick up catered food, and if you want to get your hair done, there's Salon Blonde. I mean, it's like you're right in like one of the nice
go
areas.
Get your hair done at Salon Blonde before the event, then go to TEF for the event, and then go to Sonder for a drink afterward.
Yeah.
Well, and then earlier in the day, go to Iberian Import to buy like a cute accessory for the party.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say go to TEF to get accessories and clothes for the party.
I mean, buy your outfit from TEF. And accessories, but also accessories from Iberian Import.
Sustainable natural cork products, and she just got licensed, so she has wine in there now. It's like almost like a market. So she's got olive oils that are amazing. We're olive oil snobs in my house. She's got really awesome olive oils and wines and stuff in there right now too, which is
nice.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
So how did you get into fashion? Have you always had like an interest in fashion, and were you like super into dressing up as a kid?
Not real. I mean, yeah, kind of. I guess so. I was very into my jelly shoes in pre-K. And then middle school.
I had a pair of pink ones. What color were yours?
Actually, Stacey, let me tell you, I had neon green with sparkles. That were my favorite.
Fancy.
Then, I don't know if you remember, but in the late 90s, they resurged and the jelly platform came back.
Oh, I never had those.
I had pink jelly platforms in like 5th, 6th grade. That was very popular. But middle school, looking back, I was definitely more into fashion, and I was sort of more of my same style I have now, like a little bit more like simple, like a classic kind of timeless style. I was really comfortable like mixing things together, so I would take like my grandma's brooch and put it on jeans, or cut up a t-shirt that had a cool pattern that I liked. I would cut it and then hand stitch it onto like the sleeve of a sweater and that kind of stuff. So high school, I then got way too focused on what was cool and what was in style, and I lost a lot of that. So it like just transitioned into like, whatever, like Hollister clothes that were.
You sounds like very much like Molly Ringwald in Pretty in Pink.
Yeah. I would like to think so.
We should watch that for a virtual movie night with you.
I love that movie.
So in high school, you were into Hollister.
Well, then like a lot of, it was, I went to
because everyone else was basically.
In early 2000s. So it was also like Apple Bottom and Baby Fat. Like it was just everything. It was just whatever was
Boots
cool
with the fur. You said Apple Bottom.
Oh yeah.
Apple Bottom jeans, boots with the fur.
With the fur.
I made a lot of
crowd was looking at
I know you can't stop. You gotta go. Something floor. I don't know. See, now I can't. I just hear it. All right. Anyways.
But yeah, so yeah, high school was a bad time for fashion. And then I think it was after I had Channing, I started to kind of do that, like figuring out like, all right, who am I? What is my style? What is fashion like? And I was 21 when I had her too. So that was a weird time because people were still dressing like teenagers. My friends were, but I had this beautiful human that I wanted to be the best version of myself for. So I, just thought a lot about like, what does that look like, and it's not dressing like a high schooler. So
no more bandeaus or short booty shorts going out.
I mean, I would do that now that she's older if I could, but
you would look adorable in that. Obviously,
I've never heard anyone call it a bandeau, but
I don't actually know how you call it, but I just know that's how
it's say tube top.
Well, it's not. It's just it's not the whole thing though. It's the bandeau or whatever.
Bandeau.
It's the bandeau.
Yeah.
I just don't know the right thing. I'm always on the opposite side of whatever.
You're like
pronunciation.
It's like a grandma from like New York. You know how they just always say things wrong?
Yeah.
Like
that's me.
I feel like New Yorker women say things wrong all the time. Like it's not
I knew
Walmart.
I was a New Yorker at Holt. Yeah. Awesome. Anyways, about but obviously, you've definitely found your fashion because you always look adorable, especially all of your social media with all the like stuff that you're wearing from the store. It's like everything's just so cute on you. And you like everything, and you even accessorize. It all goes together perfectly.
Well, I think you said it best, a little while ago, Christy, is that your style is very classic and timeless. And I love that, even with the accessories and stuff. Like it's like a very elegant, classic style.
Well, thank you guys. I think it makes it a lot easier if I got to the point where I realized, okay, I'm gonna invest in just a couple of things and I'm going to wear them again and again. So I tell people when they're in the store and they're looking at, so we have different price points, we'll start like a $28 tank or whatever, but we go up to a $300 dress. And if somebody really loves one of these dresses, encourage them to give it a try and just think about it, because I've got one from the store that it's definitely more than I would have ever paid for a dress. But I can wear it with heels. I can wear it with flip-flops. I can wear it in the summertime. I can wear it in the wintertime. I can add a jacket. I can accessorize it. Like, it's just different enough that it's memorable, but it's not trendy at all. So I'm going to have it forever. And that's a huge thing I look for is when I'm doing my buying. One thing is when I'm doing my, like my designer buying, we've got 3 different levels of clothes in the store. One of them is the designer level. And when I'm doing that buying, I'm really cognizant that if someone's going to invest in this, I want them to know they're really going to keep it for a long time. So I ask myself, okay, if I bought this, could I pass it down to Channing? So I've got 3 like different levels. The first one is like our introductory lines. And so that's going to be stuff that is current. It's really fun. It's super easy to wear, and you might just wear it for a season. Totally honest with you, I'm trying to direct people out of that mentality. That's where most everybody's comfortable shopping right now, and they feel good about it. And that's where a lot of stores are comfortable selling, because they feel like they're doing you a favor by offering you a less expensive product. And it's nice and it's great to have that available. But I want people to see that, like, okay, this section has, or these things are this introductory level, but gosh, like if I'm touching the moderate level, that feels totally different. In the moderate level, I'm sourcing things that are going to be more of your staple pieces. They're $100 and under. They're like sweaters. We got really great sweaters in last winter that were like a cute cap sleeve, but then it had a decorative sleeve. So they're solid, but then they've got something decorative. So you're going to be able to wear that for years and years, not just right now, where like in our introductory, we've got super cute things, but like, leopard print, that was really great last year, but you're probably not into it now, So I want them to kind of see the options. And then our third level is the designer. And that's where I'm really focusing on that person that's making the clothes. I'm able to track down the factory that it's made in, and I can make sure that they're made, that the people are treated properly there. And that's the ones where I'm really focused on, okay, I'm going to buy this. Could I pass it down to Channing? Yes. I want my customers to feel that way too. So it makes it really easy to add to your closet. If you are investing, like just invest in 3 or 4 different things, and then you can be adding on more later. So then it's real easy to add on an accessory or to add on a trendy jacket or a cool pair of shorts or whatever. So
I love that so much, how you said, like, with it's accessorizing, because you're absolutely right. And I would love to have, like you said, like a few outfits that I could just change up, like by putting a jacket on or wearing different hats or wearing like whatever else with it. And it looks like a completely different outfit that I could wear like every day of the week, but have it look different each time.
Totally. Well, and too, I would love if we could change that narrative where it feels like you have to be in a different outfit every day. Like chances are, if you see me and I'm working, especially if I'm working in the store, if you come in every single day during the week, I'm wearing the same outfit. Like it just takes a lot of my thinking away, you know,
your
like
work uniform,
find something that you like and then just freaking wear it. If you didn't sweat in it, who cares, you know? But we've got this like weird warped mentality where we think, oh, if I see somebody tomorrow, I don't want them to see me in this outfit. Why? Yeah. Like, you know, that's such a dumb mentality, and it's just not good for the world. We need to be
well, yeah, exactly. Because then you have so many clothes, like back in the day in like the 50s when it was like, and I'm sure it's still a thing with like the super rich people, is like people would go through clothes in the seasons and then they'd get rid of all of their clothes and they only wore it for one season. And I've never understood that. Like I have clothes that I've had for 10 years.
Forever.
Like one season, like, and then that's a waste. Like you just, and then that half the time, hopefully it could get bought, but if it doesn't, just goes in the trash.
Yeah, totally.
So I kind of wanted to ask you, you mentioned classic pieces that everyone should have in their wardrobe. What are some classic pieces that every woman should carry in her closet?
So for sure, a wrap dress. A wrap dress looks good on every body type, and you can really alter it to fit however you're comfortable. Another cool thing with wrap dresses, especially if it's a true wrap, look for ones that aren't already sewn together, because you can wear that as a jacket really easily. So wear it with a pair of jeans and a white top. We had 2 great ones in the store last fall, so I'm always looking to keep wrap dresses in because they are so versatile. So wrap dresses, definitely. And then jeans that you've invested in. So spend a little bit more money. Make sure that they're not jeans that are super trendy, like a super flare when that comes back in, or like a super so tight straight leg. Something a little bit more moderate, a medium wash, and no rips or anything in it. Just have 1 pair. You're going to keep that pair forever. And then you can add in the fun stuff too, but just keep that 1 pair of jeans, a pair of black slacks, and even if they're like joggers, super comfortable is what you're looking for, more than like if you think they look perfect, whatever. And again, you might invest in that, but like sweatpants type of material is okay. Just something that's solid black that you can dress up and dress down, because then you'll be able to wear it in the airport when you're traveling, but you still look nice enough that if you're meeting somebody or it's a work thing, you look like you cared enough to get ready for them. Or you can wear it to dinner. Black slacks, you can easy wear those with heels or with tennis shoes. And then a plain white top. So I like a button up, like collared, like a men's style top, but even a tank top or a shirt, but again, get one that you've invested a little bit of money in, because you want it to be thicker so it'll hold up in the wash, and so that it's not too see-through, and so it doesn't start to get that dingy look to it. You just want it to look more polished. But yeah, with those, and a blazer too, because you can really dress that up or down. It's great right now that t-shirts are in style. You can easy, if you're going to something professional like a work event, you could easy throw a blazer on over a t-shirt, even with jeans and heels or something, and you'll look polished and put together. So a blazer is a great one to have around.
I do just have one final question before we go into our little game portion, which actually it's not really a game anymore. It's a
inside the
Lipton questionnaire
podcast studio.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna call it. Inside the podcast studio.
Oh, okay, that's good. So tell us about Brody. You didn't mention him, and everyone needs to know about him.
Yes.
My angel boy. So Brody turned 3 years old in June, beginning of June. He is our pig, and he is some kind of mutt. He's here's the questions that everybody asks. No, he's not going to be 300 pounds. He's already 3 years old and he's maxed out. So he's like a 45-ish pounder, I guess, which is really, really crazy small for a pig. No, you probably shouldn't get a teacup pig. It was a mistake. He's really high maintenance. I love him so much, but I'm very lucky that we are like, my entire family, like we're all mentally ill over animals because he's not an easy animal. And when we were picking him out, it was like we had heard like, oh, they're easier than dogs and they're more fun than cats. It's the perfect animal. And he's very smart, but smart not in like the way you think like, oh, we're going to be able to communicate. It's like smart like a 3-year-old, where he gets really upset with you and he holds grudges. And so then if he gets depressed, he gets depressed by not getting enough attention. And by not getting enough attention, I mean like sitting down and just like playing with him and talking to him and feeding him for hours. Or if he sees you walk out with vegetables that you plan to eat and not offer him one, he will also go into a depression. And he takes it out by either ignoring you when you want to spend time with them or rooting the yard. So if you ever walk down Wood Street in Dunedin and you see the little pig out front, his name is Brody. He loves attention and he really needs it and thrives on it. So please feel free to reach over the fence and give him a little scratch and say hello and ask him to twirl.
And then maybe his mohawk will pop up because that's the cutest thing ever. I went and saw him the other day because I was like, I have to see this pig. And like all of a sudden, like Channing was petting him and his like little hairs turned right into a freaking mohawk on the back. And I was like, I didn't think you could get any cuter. And he did.
So, and right now he's going through, it's summertime, and so he sheds. So he has hair on him. And like a dog, in the summer he sheds. And so he's starting to lose all his hair. So he won't have his little mohawk over summer, and then he'll get it back in the winter. But he gets even cuter somehow. He's like, oh, I just love him. Well, I guess if you do want a pig, maybe it's an okay idea, but maybe come and like babysit Brody for a couple of days before you decide.
I totally would. If you go out of town, I will totally take care of. She has like so many pets that like if I lived your life, I would literally come home, lay on the floor, and want them all to just like give me love, every one of you.
Do. I know. I really like this is an actual thought I have sometimes. I'll be sitting on the floor playing with my babies, and I'm like, God, I feel so sorry for people that don't come home and get loved by their animals. You know.
I know. All right. So before we start the inside the podcast studio questions, one final question for you, Christy. Where can people, I know you said where the shop was, but where can people find you online?
Online, www.shoptef.com for online shopping. And to get in touch, especially for booking the event space, definitely the best way to contact me is Instagram in the DM. So Shop TEF on Instagram is a really good way to communicate, better than calling the phone. We are not great on the phone, and Spectrum and I are having big issues with the voicemail. So just better to instant message me through social media.
All right. Thank you so much, Christy. As it may have shown during the interview, I have a fangirl crush on her because she is one of my favorite small business owners in downtown. So I apologize for any awkwardness you may have felt during our interview, but I felt
especially awkward and left out.
But you know, you're always you're my top bitch. Like, you know how they like pimps have that main one and then they got all their other ones. I mean, Christy's like right up there with you, but
this isn't a fair throuple.
That's true. I'm sorry. I can't help it. She's just so fucking cute. Have you seen that girl's face? It's so cute.
She's adorable.
Yes. All right. So anyways, so even though all the bars are closed down again, so we do surprisingly still have some events going on in town because they haven't closed everything down. So I've got on here that Hoopla Hula Hoop Fitness, that is run by Michelle Whitley, she's starting up her Sunset Hula Hoop classes on Dunedin Causeway on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and those start at 6:45. And I've taken one of her classes, and I actually
you did say sunset.
Sorry. Yes, definitely PM. I'll be there on this Tuesday, but the episode will have already came out by then. Whatever. But I actually have a hoop that I bought from her too. She sells her own custom-made hula hoops. So that is a lot of fun, and it definitely is good for fitness, especially when you don't know how to do it, like me. So, and then since everything on July 4th has been pretty much shut down, Dunedin does have a couple of things that we're doing during it. So we have a bike parade that will be down the Pinellas Trail. You can find more information on Facebook about that one. I know it's from 10 a.m. to 12, but I don't know which part of the trail it's starting at or ending at. I'm going to guess the Dunedin section.
Now, our friend Russ from Dunedin Bike Tours will be leading the way with that also.
Yes, so you'll see him in his all orange outfit, unless he's dressed like Uncle Sam, which I wouldn't put it past him also doing so. And then from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., Dunedin Goes Karting is going to have their 4th of July kart rally. Again, I'm going to guess it starts at the VFW because usually there's due, but so that will be going around town as well. The people will be decorating their carts. I may or may not be sitting with Danielle Duffy from Think Tank HR. If you see me there, I'll just wave, be like, meet us on Main Street. And I'll be like, oh my gosh, we're so popular. What about you, girl?
I have on July 7th, there will be a BAYP, Bay Area Young Professionals Lunch and Learn at Marguerite's Cafe. And the guest of that will be actually Danielle Duffy from Think Tank HR. And
we don't like her at all.
She'll be talking about how to make your resume pop. So that is a great topic if you are out of the workforce due to COVID, or you are looking for a new job, or looking for some resume tips. And so that will be on July 7th at 11:30. You do have to register in advance. And bonus, you can get your headshots updated by me at Edgewater Creative. And that is going to be at a very, very low discounted rate. Again, if we're trying to help the community by offering it to people that may have lost their jobs or their incomes right now. So we're offering headshot sessions for just $25, which, trust me, you cannot find anywhere else.
And side note with Danielle, today is Danielle Duffy's birthday when the episode comes out. It's July 2nd. So big happy birthday, Danielle, from Meet Us on Main Street. We would sing, but we're not going to put you through that. Just happy birthday. You're one of our favorites too. You're in our quadruple. New word.
Quadruple.
Quadruple.
All right. What else you got on your calendar?
So our next virtual movie night is going to be on July 10th. We will be watching the most amazing 90s movie of all times, Clueless.
As if.
Whatever. So that will be pretty awesome. We will be watching it with one of our episode's guests, a prior episode's guest, Margot from Inky Fingers, who we mentioned earlier on the show. And our perma guest, Brian, will be there as well.
Always.
And Brian, like Paul Rudd, never ages either.
All right. And then finally, we've got on July 12th, there is a Drum Your Heart Out fundraiser for Dreamers Dance Company in Dunedin. And that is because they've been struggling due to COVID. And also someone then stole their trailer that they have, they use for events and stuff, which is really messed up. So anyway, that event is going to be cardio drumming, which I can attest to that being fun. I want to do cardio drumming a lot, so check it out on the Facebook. All right, so those are all the events coming up.
Check Facebook for anything else that may be going on that we missed. And always remember to please rate, review, and subscribe. And remember, there's a lot to remember, so you may want to write this down. We do advertisements. So it's just starting at as low as $15, your ad could be placed on our episode with our 500 plus listenership. And that's a lot of ears listening to that ad. That's a lot of business to be had. And I didn't even mean to make it rhyme. That's what kind of genius you'll get on your time.
Whoa. Mind
Right?
blown.
Exactly.
Well, I think it's about time to end the episode before Tia starts rapping more.
We go, okay. What? All right.
Well, thanks so
All right,
much
guys.
for listening.
Thank you.
We will chat at you later.
Chat at you later, guys.
Bye.